What's up, YouTube? Una here to bring you another OPTC video, and today we are going to be doing the Clash, which is really the first Clash that was ever released on, I think, Japan and Global. This is actually one of the easier ones. I wouldn't say it's the easiest. I did just create a Blackbeard video where I literally do not know how you could lose with that team setup. With Mihawk, there are ways that you can lose, but in all other respects, this is by far the easiest Clash. So when you first start out, I want to talk about this video from kind of like a beginner standpoint, because while it's the truth, it kind of is frustrating when you're new at this game, right? So if you've only been playing this game for 2 months or less, this video is for you in the sense that this can be extremely frustrating when you first start out, where you see all these legends and all these people talk about how easy it is, when the reality is it's not that you're bad or anything like that. You have just not been around long enough to put in the time to level up your characters or get the right characters to complete this, which is really easy for this, because the good news is that there's like so many teams that can beat Mihawk. Honestly, there's probably only like 2 or 3 teams that I have working on. Actually, I have 3 teams. I'm working on a 4th right now that'll be able to take down the Nell. For Mihawk, I can put together so many teams. So I want to throw together some real quick teams to show you guys what your options are. Probably I'll go from least favorite to favorite. My least favorite is a VV Laboon option. So with this, what you do, people call this the zombie team. Basically, you pick a Laboon or a Pell, basically a unit that needs loss prevention. So here, we'll go to loss prevention real quick. So if you ever have a question of, which units have the healing, which units have the loss prevention, what you can actually do is go to the wiki page, the global wiki, and you can actually just type in the name of the power. So for example, the loss prevention. And over here, you'll see that'll list all the characters that can do this. And it might be as a result of a special. It might be as a result of just a captain ability. If you click on the characters, it'll give you more information. Obviously, the most popular is our man here, Laboon. But, actually probably the best one, if you're like, hey, what's the best one I could possibly get? It would have to be Pell here. I mean, Pell, he prevents defeat as long as your health is over 30%, while Laboon is 50%. But in any case, completely irrelevant in the sense that once you have a reviver, you need one of them. Okay, and then for your friend captain, what you actually need to pick is basically a healer. So a unit that heals at the end of each turn. There's a couple, right? You've got, he's not very good at it, but he does heal the crew by 2x of the character's RCD, which would be about 432 for this character. And then you come over here, the one that everyone talks about when they say VV Laboon is her. So she's not her final evolution. The final evolution is Princess VV, who will do 5x character's RCD. But the point being is if you take this RCD and calculate your healing, so hers will be 3 times 241. Okay, which is, what is that? 3 times 241. So 723. Okay, so if I were using her, I would need to make sure that I have at least 7. Well, so for Laboon, you have to have over 50%. So since I have 1235, so I do 1235 divided by 2. I have to heal over 617. Well, you have to add in the friend captain too. So how much health does VV have? Doo-ba-doo. She's got 327. So, okay, so really not too much of a difference. So as long as you heal over that halfway mark for Laboon each turn, you're going to survive. So even if he does 25,000 damage, what happens is he'll give you +1 at the end, and you survive that hit. And then the next time you attack, VV will heal you past that 50% mark, and so on and so forth. You will not die, at least against a single hit. If multiple enemies attack you, like let's say multiple grunts hit you, you'll die. But a single enemy, like Mihawk, he can do as much damage as he wants. He won't kill you because of that ability to revive. This will take you, I want to say 45 minutes to 2 hours, depending on your team. And to me, that's just not worth it. But that is how people sometimes get their first Mihawk, and Mihawk is absolutely worth it. So if that's what you got to do, that's what you got to do. If you want to spend the gems, I'd say spend the gems, but most importantly, I'd say just work on your team. This is probably the type of team that most people will go into their first Mihawk battle with, which is like a 2x 2 HP captain. For strength, it's Bartholomew Kuma. You could bring an Aokiji here, but honestly, if you had Aokiji, you're not going to have a problem, you know, beating Mihawk. So that's an irrelevant recommendation, right? Especially for a new player. So the tricks to beating Mihawk are really this guy right here is Usopp. So first and foremost, if you did not know, do not evolve your base Usopp to anything else besides Golden Pound Usopp. But once he's there, you leave him there. You max his special at 10, and he is going to be the best character you have the rest of the game, up there with 6 stars. He's an absolute 6-star in my opinion. You need this character. But what you'll do is when you get to Mihawk, activate your Usopp, and then you're going to have 3 rounds to beat him down. And with 2x 2 HP, it's going to be a little bit easier because you don't have to activate it until you can't take any more hits, in which case then you keep beating him, and then you can use Mr. 1, who will kind of boost some of your slasher characters, so him and Arlong and Mr. Chaka here will get boosted. And you just try and take them out within those rounds. It should not be a problem if you have 2 of these Bartholomew Kumas. After that, probably at some point you hopefully will pull the G3. G3 is a pseudo legend, honestly, he's so good. But basically what you want to do for these teams is pick basically G3 as your lead. You're going to want Usopp, and then I'm going to recommend at least 1 damage reducer. I'm going to recommend Alvida, because just in case you need to absorb 1 hit, or on your last turn if you want to activate it in case you were to miss your perfects or something like that, there's nothing wrong with bringing a damage reducer to help make sure that you last through that. But other than that, you just kind of want to bring some other strong hitting units. Chopper here is solely for his strength. You can use his special, but I doubt you'll go 15 rounds with a G3 team. And then Kid is great because he maxes out at 6 turns, so you can use him to self-manipulate into an orb. So this is kind of the intermediate team once you can move past kind of like the 2x attack captains. Let's say you weren't lucky enough to bring to pull a G3. What you'd want to look at then basically is kind of like a double Blackbeard team, but don't actually wait for the special or anything like that. What you can do is just pick your strongest hitting strength units. So I picked my strongest hitting strength units here, and I'll be fine. I'll be able to beat them in about 6 turns with this team. An interesting side note that you can do is you can actually take someone like Uragi right here, and what he does is he will actually change neighboring slots into RCV. So what you'd want to do is actually put him in a middle slot. So he'd give Blackbeard, what's his name, Monster Chopper, and Kid all RCVs. And what you do is you pick, I can't remember which unit it is. Let's pull it up here. So what you can do then is bring along, which one is it? This guy. Bring this guy who changes RCV into strength. Okay, and he maxes out at I think 7 turns, and Bragi will equally max out at 7 turns I think as well, or at least really low. They max out really low. And what happens is since you have 2 preemptives, if you speed through this, even though you're doing only 5 rounds of attacks, you'll actually have had 7 cooldowns reduced on your team, and you can actually with some cooldown sockets be able to activate him right away on Mihawk, and then activate the be able to activate this guy to have given yourself at least 3 strength orbs, which is usually enough to take Mihawk out in 1 round. If you bring like an attack booster or booster 2, it's going to be lights out for Mihawk. So you can actually win this in 5 rounds. That's one of the fastest teams out there. And if you don't have strength's not your, like, at least those teams you can't make work. I just want to throw out the option you can bring a striker lead like Kid. So, double striker lead will give you 2 matching orbs. You can use Alvida to reduce damage. He's, this guy's really just a beat stick. And then what really makes this team work is Kaku. Kaku will increase the damage of your striker Kid orbs. And then if you need it, you can use Usopp to stall. And then, you can put together other teams. So here's a powerhouse team that'll work. You've got your attack booster, you've got your orb booster. You just need to make sure you stall long enough, because right now, since we don't have these books, they will have long cooldowns. So you just need to stall really long enough to survive Mihawk's preemptive 4000. Activate your Usopp, and you should be good from there. So those are the general teams. If you're new, don't get discouraged. It does take a little bit of work to get your units up to a level to be able to start performing raids. If you wanted to gem, you can gem for Mihawk, but I wouldn't recommend it. But he is totally worth it, and he's not totally actually useful. Like, you see him, like, everybody recommends you have to use Mihawk, you have to use Mihawk for all these raids, but honestly, until you get his special maxed at 17, he's not at that level when you first get him, right? 32, I think, is his starting cooldown, which is way too long. So you want a Mihawk. He's a great lead, but you get his max usefulness when he's super maxed out. So don't spend gems to farm him. Maybe get your first one if you can. If not, look at these teams, and hopefully this guide will help you. Other than that, good luck with your Mihawk, guys.